When politics and national security collide, who pays the price? For some, it's the immigrant student caught in the crossfire of ideological battles. For others, it's the nation's reputation for justice and freedom that begins to unravel. Welcome to TVAI. In tonight's report, we explore the politically charged case of Rümeysa Öztürk, a Turkish doctoral student at Tufts University, whose detention by federal authorities is raising deep concerns, not just about civil liberties, but about the role politics plays in shaping immigration enforcement. Öztürk, who came to the U.S. to pursue a PhD in international relations, had become known in academic circles for her strong views on Palestinian rights. Her public writings and involvement in peaceful protests were seen by some as bold advocacy, while others within political circles viewed her activism as controversial, even problematic. That divide came to a head on March 25, 2025, when Öztürk was apprehended by ICE agents in Boston. The arrest was abrupt and unannounced, conducted by plainclothes officers who whisked her away to a detention center without informing the university or her legal counsel. Initially held in Vermont, she was later transferred to a Louisiana facility known for strict immigration rulings. Federal officials allege she had connections to organizations sympathetic to Hamas, though no direct evidence has been publicly disclosed. Critics argue that the move was more about optics than justice, a way for the administration to appear tough on terrorism while placating critics of its Middle East policy. Politically, the case has become a flashpoint. Conservatives have pointed to Öztürk's detention as a necessary security precaution, while progressives view it as a targeted crackdown on free speech. The Biden administration, already navigating a tense election cycle, has remained largely silent, wary of alienating either side. Meanwhile, Democratic lawmakers like Ayanna Pressley and Rashida Tlaib have voiced strong opposition to Öztürk's detention, urging ICE to release her and calling for transparency in immigration procedures. Their critics, however, argue that national security should not be compromised for political correctness. The case also places universities under scrutiny. With mounting pressure from alumni, donors, and political interest groups, institutions like Tufts are forced to walk a tightrope between defending academic freedom and avoiding association with political controversy. The optics of the case are further complicated by ongoing international tensions. The Turkish government has demanded answers and consular access, while human rights organizations accuse the U.S. of applying a double standard when it comes to freedom of expression, particularly among Muslim and Middle Eastern voices. Public protests, especially among university students, have grown louder. The hashtag Free Rümeysa campaign continues to trend, sparking campus debates, media commentary, and public forums across the country. But the political machine shows little sign of slowing down. Legal analysts warn that if this case sets precedent, we could see an expansion of politically motivated detentions, where immigrant status becomes a tool of ideological control. Immigration law, once a bureaucratic process, is now increasingly shaped by public opinion and political convenience. The White House's reluctance to take a definitive stand underscores a deeper problem. Immigration and civil liberties have become pawns in a much larger game, one driven not by justice, but by electoral calculus. For Öztürk, the consequences are personal and immediate. She remains in ICE custody, her academic future uncertain, her case caught in a swirl of political narratives. And as more voices join the chorus demanding answers, the silence from leadership only grows louder. Is this truly a matter of national security, or an administration's attempt to silence dissent without the political fallout of a courtroom trial? This case also serves as a reminder of the fragile nature of international academic exchange. When geopolitical tension seeps into university halls, the very ideals of education, inquiry, and open dialogue risk being compromised. Foreign students, once seen as bridges of diplomacy, now tread carefully, unsure of the protections once promised by a democratic nation. Öztürk's colleagues have begun organizing open letters, teach-ins, and panel discussions on campus, keeping her story in the public eye. Their efforts echo a deeper frustration that the very values universities strive to uphold are being undermined by forces far beyond the classroom. In Ankara, the Turkish Ministry of Foreign Affairs has summoned the U.S. ambassador for clarification, marking a rare diplomatic intervention in what is technically a domestic immigration matter. Turkish media have widely covered the issue, portraying Öztürk as a political prisoner and raising further tensions between the two NATO allies. The incident could strain future cooperation on educational exchange and joint research initiatives. In academic forums, professors from leading universities have begun circulating petitions and white papers critiquing the use of immigration policy as a tool to suppress unpopular political opinions. These statements emphasize the dangerous precedent being set, especially when freedom of thought becomes entangled in the mechanisms of state power. Civil rights organizations like the ACLU have filed Freedom of Information Act requests to uncover the evidence, or lack thereof, behind Öztürk's detention. Their goal is to determine whether the arrest was based on concrete intelligence or an ideological litmus test disguised as national security. The outcome could shape future policy not just for foreign students, but for all immigrants in the United States. Within Tufts, internal discussions have taken a serious tone. The university's faculty senate is planning a special session to address the incident, and students have called for the administration to take a more vocal stand. Flyers, forums, and teach-ins are part of a growing campus effort to reclaim the narrative and demand accountability. Internationally, the case has caught the attention of academics, activists, and even foreign governments. Across Europe and the Middle East, op-eds and televised debates question the U.S.'s commitment to democratic values. For many, Öztürk's story is not just about a student. It's a symbol of the creeping politicization of migration law in liberal democracies. And as this debate stretches across borders, one truth becomes clear. Silence in the face of injustice, especially when politically convenient, may be the loudest statement of all. For America, the question remains: can a democracy maintain its moral compass when every decision is filtered through the lens of political gain? We want to know what you think. Is Rümeysa Öztürk's detention a matter of justice, or politics masquerading as national security? Stay with TVAI for more investigative reports, where we cut through the noise to bring you clarity from complexity.